All the windows down.
Oh, what we got going on here?
Hey, windows.
Oh. So, black car parked in a handicap spot. Oh yeah, might not have no handicap sticker.
Windows.
Oh. What about the window?
Yeah, I can't see.
Oh.
Huh? No. I'm pulling you over because you're a tent. You got a driver's license?
Look mighty suspicious. I just don't trust stuff like that.
You have a handicap sticker? All right.
No, you just follow me and scoop me instead of just pulling me over. My friend, let me record it because you
step out. Step out. Turn around. Hey, no.
Oh, you gotta be careful with your attitude in the middle of a traffic stop.
Don't even play that. Turn around. Turn around. Hey,
I ain't even do nothing.
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Stop.
You don't understand that.
Hold Stop.
Put your hands behind your back.
You mad because I'm recording like that?
You gotta be able to handle yourself during the traffic stop.
Crazy. I ain't even do shit. You just
Stop.
put me over.
Hey, you're getting pulled over for this window tint.
For my teeth, so why you restraining like
Because
I
you're
did?
smells like weed in the car.
Don't want to do those type of things.
What the
Ooh, oh.
Stop. Come on.
You don't get no pussy. You don't get no pussy.
Stop.
You don't get no pussy. You doing
Stop.
for text.
That's why you're supposed to remain cool, calm, and collective during any police encounter.
Stop.
You don't get no pussy.
Stop.
It shows because you don't
Stop.
got a woman. I'm
You
a
sound
woman.
so ignorant right now. Everyone's looking at you. Congratulations. Look at you.
Whole lot of arguing going on. That's all I see right here.
Look at you. Look at you.
It's surprising for me to see anybody go through something like that because, like, what does somebody think in the middle of a situation like that? Do they think arguing is going to get them out of any situation like that? Come on now.
Look at everyone.
Look at me. I'm
Look at everyone.
Hi, guys.
No one's helping you. No one's helping you.
Nobody like you.
Oh, you gotta
Can you,
be
I'm
kidding
gonna
me.
come to you outside. You put some in, bitch. Give me a ticket. You hold my arm.
Ooh. You know, I never seen someone so serious like that.
No.
Don't you stop buying money.
Stop.
I'm going to jail for what?
Stop.
What did I do?
For resisting that.
What did I resist? What? Y'all got me.
It seemed to me like she only trying to figure out what she going to jail for, but at that point, I mean, you could kind of figure it out yourself.
How did I resist? Okay, fine. Stop buying money with your ugly ass. You mad because you don't get no. Wow. Yeah.
And then it's surprising to me that somebody would call a cop ugly and all this kind of stuff during the middle of a traffic stop. Like, what kind of way and shape or like, what kind of way would that even help somebody in the middle of a traffic stop calling a cop ugly and stuff? Wouldn't you think that would escalate the situation? And how many times she refused to roll down the window after the cop told her to roll down the window? You know, like, what did she think was going to happen? A cop don't know what you got up in that car. A cop don't know none of that. A cop just see a bunch of black windows on your car, can't see through it. And he like, that looks suspicious.
And you ain't getting permission to.
Can you?
Bruh.
Where are you
And I ain't no cop and I ain't no lawyer. We're going to get that understood right now. You know what I mean? But yeah.
going?
You just pulling me somewhere. Somebody, please come record. Try to get me off camera. Come record. Please. Cause why y'all pulling me like this? I don't give a Hi. Ugly.
You're just not
Do your
complying.
job.
And it's always best to remain calm and relax. You got to be able to relax in the middle of that situation. You know, if you can't do no relaxing, you know, you probably going to escalate the situation if you get a little out of hand. You know, you got to really remain calm, cool, and collective.
We are doing our job.
Hurry up. Take me to jail so I can find out. Bubbles for your.
I don't know what they were talking about right there, but I heard something about bubbles. Bro, there's no blowing no bubbles in the middle of a traffic stop. I promise you that. Ain't nobody gonna be blowing no bubbles in the middle of a traffic stop. Man, what? They gonna be like, what you blowing bubbles for?
Hey. Showing your education.
Ooh. And then no telling what she might have even in her purse. You know, she was doing a lot of arguing. You know, whenever somebody argues with cops over and over, it's probably because they don't want them to be looking at something, huh? Uh-oh.
And it's
Where's that at,
See
Sergeant?
that? See that? That's why you don't want to be put in that situation.
No, right on the seat.
Riding hot.
Barely covered up by this.
Riding hot.
Open this damn door.
Perfect.
Open it up.
Gotta love it. Unbelievable.
She was trying to act like she ain't doing nothing wrong. Now, you all know whenever somebody really refusing like they ain't doing nothing wrong, they usually doing something wrong.
Thank you for not reaching for
Okay,
this.
why would I reach for that? I'm not a
Boy, he put that thing up high, huh? He almost, man.
threat. I would just get my eyebrows done. Why would I reach for that? You want to kill me?
Ooh, boy, if she wasn't active before, you ought to see this. Hold up here. I mean, come on, man. Look, this is very surprising to me to see somebody act that way in the middle of something like that.
You gotta
You
conceal.
want to kill me?
You gotta conceal.
That's not lies. You want to kill
All
me?
right, you gotta
Why would
conceal.
I don't know. The way her eyes are open and everything like that, to me, you know, it seemed like there might be a little bit more than just that. It might be a little bit more than just that going on.
I reach for that? You want to
That's
kill
your
me?
mouth. That's your-
That's not mine.
Thank God you didn't
That's
point at
not
me,
why
so
would
I
I
wouldn't have to-
want that?
Bro, if you riding in your car and you driving your car somewhere and a cop pull you over and find something in your car, you probably the one that's going to have to take that charge because you shouldn't be riding no car nowhere with anything in your car like that. You get what I'm saying? You should already know the person that you got the car from that wouldn't have nothing in that car so you could drive it. You get what I mean?
I'm
Thank
not a
you.
threat.
Well, I don't know.
I'm a female.
You didn't mention me.
It's 5 cops. Y'all want to get a quote that bad?
Or her eyes are wide open. There might be a little bit more to the story than what they were saying. You know, that's how I feel about it.
Why is she yelling?
General investigation at 1733.
I didn't.
See, that's why it's always best to you know, understand your rights in the middle of a police encounter and everything like that involving law enforcement. And always, it's always best to stay cool, calm, and collective if you ever in a situation like that, you know, and be transparent about things. The more transparent you are in the traffic stop, the more simple you are, the more simple everything is probably gonna go, right? Like, you got to think of it in terms of a police officer. You know, they want the simplest story, you know, from you and everything like that. They don't want anything to be long drawn out, because if it's long drawn out, it's usually not nothing true, right? So whenever you get a real simple story, usually that's the truest story that you hear. You know what I mean? So the more transparent you are in the middle of a police traffic stop, you know, the less chances you have to escalate the whole situation from advancing it even further. You get what I mean? That's why you don't want to be putting yourself into no kind of situation like that. You know, as you've seen in that footage right there, you know, you got to be able to be smarter than that. You know, you got to be able to think more clear. You know, you got to be able to make better decision making. You know, like a situation, you know, that you in like that, man, you should be making some elite level situation decision making and stuff like that. You know, it should be elite level. Like, it should be efficient. You know, it shouldn't be no long drawn out stuff. It should be efficient, because you know that the more long drawn out something is, the less efficient probably it is and everything. You know, just like if I tell you a title or something and I'm like, the title is The Police Chase a Man. All right, so there you go. It's a simple title, right? But if I say a police chase a man after he did this and did that and this, then it's a way long drawn out, you know, thing where, you know, it's kind of harder to understand everything, right? It's not so simple anymore. But man, this is just crazy to me to see that anybody would act that way in the middle of something like that, bro. Like, you got to be able to be smarter than that, you know, just like that commercial. Just like that commercial on TV say, you know, you got to be quicker than that. Well, you got to be smarter than that. And if you ever in a situation like that, you know, you got to know your rights. You got to know what you can and you can't say and all that. And you're going to be good to go, right? Usually if a cop pull you over, you don't start the conversation off by arguing with the cop. You know, the first things that you probably do is have your license, your registration, your insurance, and all those type of things ready to give to the officer, you know. And after you do that, everything good to go, you know, usually. But that's why you never want to put yourself in a situation like that, you know. Because if you put yourself in that type of, you know, deal, then you might face the consequences like the individual did in that video right there, you know. And that's something nobody would ever want to do, because whenever you do that, you're gonna have to probably pay fines, probably go to court. You know, you might have to go to jail and all this kind of stuff. And whoever wants something like that, you know. And for that individual right there, hopefully she's living a better life right now. Hopefully she's doing way better. You know, hopefully she done got her life together. You know, and hopefully she's making better decisions and living a way better life now, you know, than what happened in that video right there, you know. Hopefully she don't have to keep dealing with that over and over. You know, usually when somebody goes through something like that, they learn from it and they don't do it no more, right? But that's the main thing to take into consideration about that, you know. Everybody makes mistakes. Some people have to learn from their mistakes before they understand, you know, that it was a mistake and everything like that, you know. But yeah.